Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2 with TV's Frank. It's been a while since I did this, so I'm a little bit, Oh right, I remember what I was doing. Okay. Got a pretty simple build going on here. And I have a bunch of soul items that I'm going to save until later. We're still part of the blue dudes. Blue Sentinels, because I haven't had a chance of joining any of the good covenants yet. Although I did join the top dudes. So the last thing we did was we went through the sunken ship, or not the sunken ship, the ghost ship. I'm fairly certain. Basically, the way you can tell what bosses you fight is just look at your souls here. Got a couple small, smooth, and silky stones, but I don't really care about that stuff. So, now, you can also just go over here. We've been to Huntsman's Copse, but I think we really should do the Bastille before we do the Copse, because that leads on to another area, and I've had basically two things directing me towards this now. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's start at the Tower Park, because that's the way from the giant fortress place. And yeah, I think we'll have about as easy of a time doing it this way. So, the first time I played this game, the first time I got to this part after playing this game, the first time I saw these enemies here. And you can walk over there and go fight them here. But I'm not going to do that because you can walk around this corner here. And you can get some dudes on the ledge. See them there? You see these enemies pretty commonly. They're royal swordsmen. And apparently Oh! Well, there you go! I'm fairly certain that's my first legitimate death. That wasn't during a summon in this, because I decided to dodge backwards off of a cliff. Well, there you go. Well. Okay, let's not be an idiot about this. Luckily I didn't really lose anything. I'm in undead guy now, but whatever. Not that big a deal. Now, one of the things you might notice is that there's like a little ledge down there, and you can see some animals down there. Let's not worry about that. There's a bunch of barrels. If you knock this down, it'll blow up and kill all the dogs down there. Try to destroy. Actually, you just want to nudge it. So these royal swordsmen are one of the more, I don't know, annoying enemies in here. You can climb back up here, but not really any particular reason to do that right now. So here's a box. What's the message say? I guess we're not going to read the message, we're just going to open the box. Okay. And we get the antiquated key and a coveted silver serpent ring. If you didn't know how to get the other one, that's basically the first place you can get that. I'm pretty sure I have the upgraded version. Then that's where you would find that. The upgraded version of that, I'm not sure where you get it from. You get it from a New Game Plus boss, I'm fairly certain. So these guys are, I don't know what these guys are. They're like mummies with giant blades on sticks. They're pretty dangerous. The first time I played this game, I basically saw that these guys had so much health and just basically said, you know what? I should leave. So that's a gunpowder barrel there. Be careful with that. And in here we see our friend Lucatiel.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you?
Well, I'm dead now.
The longer I am here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation?
Her mask has a beard on it.
Ah, yes. I have not thanked you for humoring me the other day. This is for you.
A human effigy, great.
Of course, I have no idea what it is.
That's a lie.
Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies and constantly at war. There is only one way up in Mirror. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself. With two things, my sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here
To what?
Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse.
Never heard of him.
An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true. I can only hope that they are.
Where'd her mask go? The heck? I never noticed that. Maybe that's supposed to happen? Okay.
I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weary these days. I'm sorry. I suppose I've...
Okay, you want to exhaust your dialogue before moving on. So over here we see another dude here. Oh, hit me. Kind of a dangerous place to fight these things because there's ledges here, but whatever. Now there's a boss over this way, but before I do that, you can't get. Well, you can get back across here. I'll show you. You just walk over here. But we want to go this way first. And you can see up there, there's an item up on that ledge. Some of these dogs. These dogs can actually drop human effigies in Souls of Lost Undead. There's no reason not to use those. It's not like in Dark Souls 1 where the earlier range of soul items could be fed to Frampt and they'd be worth more. Gold pine resin. And over here is an interesting thing. That door down there actually opens to that pit. It's not really a pit. It leads down to the bottom, but you'll die if you jump here, or from there, as far as I can remember. But you can actually use this as a shortcut if you want. There's not any particular reason to do that. I don't think you can backstab these guys. I didn't try. So one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure you don't break that barrel, because, well, it's one of the few like physics puzzles, I guess, in this game. You see that cracked wall over there? Boom! And there was a dog at the end. The reason you want to do that is because one hand sword. There's a door here, but it's locked, and there's a bonfire over here. And inside here is a man, kind of freaking out over here sitting on a treasure chest. What do you talk about? Is he licking that?
Oh, why can't they all be this easy? We've got a wild one here. Shape up. Shape up, I say.
Is this something to do with blacksmiths having a belt on their head? It's pretty obvious that this guy's a blacksmith. That's not really a spoiler.
Oh, that's it, yes. That's the way. Dear flame, how brightly you burn.
So I guess it's supposed to be the clue to know what you're supposed to do here.
I ought to fetch a new ember.
Talks about embers.
Flame, dear flame.
Like, in Dark Souls 1, that was how you upgraded weapons to certain types or past a certain level.
I ought to
And it
flame.
just talks about that. So over here is Torch in his anvil. This message probably tells us what we're supposed to do. Try torch, therefore torch. So go over here. I'll light the bonfire, but I'm not going to rest at it. At least not yet. So, let's light our torch here. This is the first time I've actually lit a torch in this playthrough. And just set the light. Not the last, however. Let's make sure to put it away. So when we do that...
I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame.
He won't say anything else. There's some treasure chests in here, we should open them. We actually do have to rest at the bonfire to get him to do what he's going to do. So get some upgrade items. I don't know how much further I can upgrade my bastard sword, I don't remember. But, we can go check. Some heavy bolts for arrows, or crossbows. The door over there needs a key we'll get later. But there's absolutely no reason to use that door. Just rest at the bonfire. I could use a human effigy, but maybe I'll go play with the boss. So when you rest at the bonfire after giving him that thing, or lighting that torch, he'll move over next to it. And because apparently that flame is better than this one, and you can get the treasure chest he was sitting on. Which has the hammer he has in his hand, and a twinkling titanite. The hammer's nothing special. It's just a mace. Incredibly sturdy. It's got 80 durability, yeah, it does. Okay.
I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame.
So, that thing he's saying, there's a clue of what we have to do to get him to activate. And this one's actually quite a bit more useful than the other blacksmith. Although, he's got several things that are useful about him. There's one thing in particular that is useful about him versus the other guy. So, yeah. I wish I knew what these guys are called. Are you gonna attack me? Okay. Quite out of practice, I'm misjudging my ranges here. It's gonna get me killed again. Oh well. Nothing to it. At least I've still got plenty of life gems. The dogs don't have very many hit points. They basically die in one hit. Oh, they got a grab there. That's not something you want to let them do. Yeah, many times it's with a weapon like this, the versatility is one of the strongest parts of it. So, one-handing a weapon is not always a bad thing. Especially since on this one you get a thrust instead of a slash, which is quite useful for something like right now. You see more of those royal swordsmen. And one of the best ways to fight them is just to lead them up to this doorway. And just exploit the door by kind of bunching them all up. And this is a solid tactic throughout a good part of the game. The swords they have, you can see, are kind of wavy, flamberge type swords. They're not that good though. Maybe if you were really wanting a two-handed sword and didn't get anything else, it would be nice, but not for me. So over here we see an item, human effigy. And over here, there's that door I was talking about. Now, I'm not even sure why you would ever use this as a shortcut. You can roll down from up there. Can't really see it. But it's not that much of a shortcut. Up here is, though, I suppose. I suppose if you just wanted to not fight these royal swordsmen, it would be quite a shortcut. There's more of them through here, so let's go fight them. Up here. So, go in here, some more. Now there's a reason I left that room, and it wasn't just because there's dudes there. That was terrible. Because there's these exploding barrels. And you can use those to get the people to kill themselves, but I find I get hit by the explosions, but as much as they do. So there's this gate here that opens this portcullis. And there's a sword guy on the side. Ah, there's two of them. So as you can see, the boss door is just over there. And they drop their armor and weapons, but for some reason they're dropping common fruits, which are something that gives you poison defense, which is quite nice later in the game. I think I picked some up. Yeah, evidently I did. So there's some cells here. That room over there has ladder in it. It's the way down to that that one area. I'll show you. See? Now, if we were human here, there would be someone to summon in here for the boss fight. I don't think there's anything else. Nope. Let's put down summon signature a little bit further back. See if anybody wants to do some jolly co-op. Maybe get our humanity back. Right, that's where I got the item. Now this is one of the bigger areas, and it's got a little bit of that interconnectedness. Ah, here we go. That is more common, I suppose, to Dark Souls 1 areas, where it's kind of going around in a circle, even though you have to teleport to get here. Hello! So, let's see if this guy knows what he's doing here. Now, this is a boss fight where it's very good to have a shield for. Basically, you can tell whether someone knows what they're doing or not, whether they jump off. Oop. So if you jump off, you can see there's 3 health bars there. Oh, I died. I probably should have equipped a shield before then. If you jump off of there, the other one's aggro. So I basically just made that more difficult for that guy, which I kind of regret. So let's go ahead and equip a shield. Just because they have a really weird hitbox. Apparently I'm fat rolling. So let's put on... There we go. They have a very, I don't know, odd hitbox. It's very hard for me to, you know, I haven't played this game a million times, so I don't know their exact frames of hitbox and stuff like that, the exact pixels of it. And they have a very huge sweep, so to make things safer, and, you know, so I don't have to do it 1,000 times, I'm just going to go ahead and equip a shield for this. As I may be doing for some of the other bosses with kind of weird, annoying hitboxes later. This guy's got the same idea. Oh, he's got a... Hey, he's got a man who has already joined a covenant. Oh, and he hasn't killed those guys. Hello. We'll see what that yellow covenant is. If you play Dark Souls 1, you probably got a pretty good idea of what that is. You see there I got hit by that, but it doesn't look like you should get hit by that. I think our friend jumped down there. Well, maybe I'll just do this on my own first. Just to, I haven't done a boss that wasn't co-op. There's a summon for this, but it's not very interesting. We'll give him one more try, see if things are being pretty popular. It's a good way to get my humanity back without wasting an item. I don't think there's anything I missed along the path. Basically, you have to go through here or fight through the other way. By that I mean go through the area with the... Did my summon sign disappear? Go through the ship area. My sword is getting pretty low, but I've got spares. Let's see. I've got the Drenglaic sword right now. I'm not sure why. My bastard sword is better. There must have been some reason I was using that instead of this. Probably because of, well, co-op stuff and my weapon almost breaking. Alright. He summoned the, hello. The, NPC for this. So we'll get to check her out without actually doing anything. And this guy looks like he's doing something unorthodox. Oh, no, he's not. And Pilgrim Belclair there. Belclair, excuse me. This guy will eventually jump back up. She's a magic person. So, you'll notice, obviously, that there are 3 health bars. And the other ones you can see over there. If you shoot them or do anything like that, they will come after you. Which she's currently inciting them to do. Now they don't necessarily come one at a time, but you can get a little bit of a head start on one of them without fighting the other if you do that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to distract this other guy so that he can fight that one up there without a problem. And while these guys' attacks are not hard to dodge, I just find that dodging them is less, I don't know, rewarding as the other bosses, because they'll often just not pay attention and, well, not paying attention to where you are, I suppose. And most of the other bosses don't do that. Like, they'll just kind of ignore the fact that you're dodging and hit you anyway. It's like, oh! Crap. And they do this. Okay, apparently... gotta... I'm gonna heal up, but I have a feeling that they're gonna be doing something. They also do another really interesting move later. But he hasn't done it yet. They throw their shield at you. There we go. And because I showed this off now, normally I will do this boss solo. Because you don't get anything for doing this with an NPC. As you can see, he's showing off that you can open these doors. I'm not sure if you can do that during the boss fight. I figured that since this boss doesn't have any... See, now I'm human now. Doesn't have any real things. This is where Belclair is. Doesn't have any incentive for doing it co-op. We can do it by ourselves this time. And this will be the first boss that I've done by myself. But this is one of the more challenging bosses, so up to this point. Even with a shield, you basically just want to try to avoid their attacks rather than try to block it. It's just because of the fact that there's 3 of them, potentially. If you know what you're doing, you should only be fighting the maximum of 2. Let's let my stamina regenerate here. Okay. So the thing you do here is you see that there's one there, and then the other one's coming up. You can get a few hits on this one. You can also use items to buff your sword or something. If you got a spell that does that, it's very good against these guys. I think they're weak to magic. Which means I probably want to be using the Drangleic sword. Doesn't that do magic damage? Alright. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Now the hardest thing to do here, as you can see I'm doing quite a bit of damage to these guys, is keep them both in your sights while still hitting them properly. And the easiest way to do that is just to be as far away as you can, and then wait until they attack you. There they go. Let's go throw a shield. Does a lot of damage, and you can switch your targeting to like sometimes the stagger actually helps you, I find. You seem to have invulnerability frames for some reason when you get staggered. There, that was not a good idea. Okay. Okay. Let's wait for a moment to do this. I don't want that. since I'm right next to this one. They don't heal or anything after each one dies or anything like that. This is no Ornstein and Smog. Just be careful. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. That was kind of a bad idea, but I did it anyway. Backing away. Because of the other one being outside of my range. This one is an easier target because it doesn't have shield anymore, but the other one is... I just basically... targets of opportunity here. Later on you can get some items that help your stamina a bit more. And then I'll be using those to take advantage of that. There we go. Even if I got hit there, there's not anything they can do that will kill me in one hit, so taking a hit there to kill one is a calculated risk. Honestly, being staggered from a block is a lot more punishing in Dark Souls 1. There we go. Not too difficult, especially by yourself. Honestly, I think this boss, especially if you got people who don't know what you're doing, is harder co-op. So let's get rid of that shield. And re-equip my pants. I think I'd like to do this in a little bit more of a controlled way. So I'm going to be, after I finish this room, which has a lot of secret doors in it, I'm going to be ending this episode. So that way, if I have to cut a lot out and do things like that later on, I'm still in the easy part of the game. This one has a nice prize in it. Nothing. There's a bonfire right after this, so be a good place to cut off stuff. The reason I haven't been playing this game is because I kind of got burned out on it a little bit. It's just kind of showing you that there isn't anything over here. So let's go up the stairs and run this one. Not over here either. No, just this one. So there's an elevator. But I did hear that there was a DLC coming in July, so that's pretty cool. I planned to finish this. I just had a kind of a busy week, and so I didn't do it. And I did most of those original ones all at the same time. So you guys, another thing. You can oops. There's an item up there, and it's impossible to jump that way, I think, but you can jump the other way. You can jump from these places over here over to there if you'd like. Now, if you can hear, if I go up to this wall, you can hear a little bit of a clinking and clanking. That's a very dangerous burrow here. And there's a wooden treasure chest in there. Now, these guys are very nasty enemies. They can explode and do a lot of damage to you, and there's some of them that are glowing like yellow or brown that will put some petrification on you. So that's not good. Some rouge water, not very helpful for this character, but at least not at the moment. Oh, well. Oops. I mistimed that jump. I forgot the item up there. It is possible to jump across that gap, though. Yeah, you could see this from the place over there. You know what? I was told it wasn't possible, but Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit higher up. Alright. So that's all the treasure for this area, I think. I mean, obviously there's, you know, there's always a chance that I missed something, but I don't feel like walking around rubbing my face all up on the walls. So this area here, try charging. I wonder why. Well, you see in there's another one of those guys. And if you stick around, he blows up. So this is the servants' quarters, and that's where I'm going to be ending this episode. So I will see you next time on Let's Play Dark Souls 2.